Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. The National Bureau of Investigation is now also looking into the high prices of pork products. For the details, Marlene Alcaide joins us live from Mandaluyong City. Hi Marlene, the NBA has joined in the fray. What exactly are they looking into?
Under the DOJ have started inspecting several hog stockyards in Bulacan. Earlier today, NBI staff and the municipal agriculturists went to Santa Maria, Bulacan only to see a few stocks of hogs. Recall that the Agriculture Department had blamed unscrupulous traders for the increase in prices of pork and other products, but stockyard owners have denied hoarding supply. They explained that they actually want to bring more supply to the market as soon as possible to prevent further losses. The municipality of Santa Maria is known as a hub for hog raisers, but some of them have stopped operations due to the ASF scare. With this, most of the hogs in Bulacan now come from Visayas and Mindanao, which renders additional production costs. Some retailers have also stopped selling pork as they cannot afford to comply with the government's price cap. We talked to some of them, and just like the hog raisers, they also denied manipulating the supply of pork products. They maintained that the increase in prices was primarily driven by the additional transport costs. Sean, NBI officials asked the owners of hog stockyards in Santa Maria, Bulacan to submit needed documents for further investigation. Sean?
Thank you for that update, Marlene Alcaide, joining us live from Mandaluyong City. In other news, Russia says it is ready to supply the Philippines with Sputnik V vaccines as soon as Gamaleya secures an approval for emergency use here. In an interview with the chiefs, state-backed Russian Direct Investment Fund CEO Kirill Dmitriev said that Moscow can provide up to 50% of its vaccine commitments in the coming months. He added that Gamaleya has already submitted the necessary documents for its EUA application.
We will basically be able to supply, next month maybe about 10% of your total need in vaccine from us. And then the following months, about 20% of your total need. And then the following month, 30% of your total need, so altogether around 50% of your total need in the next 3 months, and then the rest over the other 3 months.
And the city of Valenzuela is all ready to go with its vaccine rollout. Jen Calimon is now with us to discuss this further. Hi, Jen. What are the measures taken by the LGU of Valenzuela City? All right, we'll get back to Jen Calimon in just a bit. For now, let's check in on San Juan City, which is also gearing up for its vaccination program. JC Cosico joins us over the phone for the details. Hello, JC. Do we already have a head count of those who will be vaccinated?
Sean, the city of San Juan aims to vaccinate over 85,000 residents in its local immunization program. However, only 19,500 residents have so far expressed interest to receive the jabs. San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora said to intensify their information campaign to boost the vaccine confidence among his constituents. He is also willing to receive the jabs first, saying that he even wrote to Health Chief Francisco Duque III to allow him to be inoculated. The city aims to vaccinate 500 individuals daily with the help of 40 medical teams in 4 inoculation sites. It has set aside 50 million pesos for the procurement of vaccines. San Juan is also among the LGUs that has signed deals with British drug maker AstraZeneca for 100,000 vaccine doses. They are also expecting 10,000 doses from Moderna. Zamora says they are open to procuring other vaccine brands. He adds a fallback list has been prepared if recipients of the vaccines will back out to avoid wastage. Around 80 million pesos was also allotted to treat individuals experiencing adverse effects after the vaccination. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much for that update from San Juan City. That was JC Kosikov, News 5. The IATF is warning the public against the proliferation of counterfeit vaccines as mass inoculation is set to begin later this month. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles says that any COVID-19 jabs sold commercially or in the market is technically fake. The National Bureau of Investigation has been tasked to beef up its monitoring efforts as counterfeit vaccines from China are reportedly already circulating in other countries.
Wala pa tayong bakuna right now dito sa bansang Pilipinas. Okay? So kung may nag-aalok sa inyo, that means illegal yun. Hindi namin mag-guarantee sa inyo kung anong nilalaman ng vial na yan. Hindi namin madedetermine. So please lang, huwag ninyong tanggapin, huwag rin kayo magpaloko.
Nograles added that quarantine protocols will not be lifted immediately after the vaccine rollout. Some 117,000 Pfizer doses are expected to arrive in the Philippines this month.
So halimbawa, sa pag naging matagumpay po ang vaccination rollout natin sa NCR, makikita natin na everyday bumababa na yung kaso. So at one point, sasabihin na based on our indicators, dapat NGCQ na ang NCR. So yun, magdidesisyon ng IATF na based on our indicators, mababa na yung kaso ng COVID, so pwede na mag-MGCQ ang NCR.
All right, let's circle back to Jen Kalimon of News 5. She is in Valenzuela City checking in on their vaccine rollout preparations. Hi, Jen. What are the measures being undertaken by the Valenzuela LGU?
Yes, Sean, Valenzuela City is now 100% ready for its vaccination program. With few residents pre-registering, the LGU is thinking of ways to address vaccine hesitancy. Mayor said that they have allocated 150 million pesos for their VC-Vax or the Valenzuela City vaccination program. They will purchase 640,000 doses of vaccines from AstraZeneca, which is expected to arrive in July to December this year. 320,000 residents of the city will benefit from this program, equivalent to 70% of the city's adult population. The remaining 30% will be vaccinated once the supply from the national government arrives. They have identified 17 inoculation sites, which are mostly schools in Valenzuela. All of 33 barangays in the city will be clustered into 1 to 2 schools. The inoculation sites will have a registration clerk, doctors, and nurses who will check those about to be injected before the actual inoculation. This is to ensure that they do not have symptoms of COVID-19. There will also be an ambulance for each site in case of any emergency. Residents can register for the vaccination through ValTrace or the city's QR code system used for contact tracing. After putting in necessary information and validation from a doctor, the individual will be informed of the schedule of vaccination. 15,000 individuals have registered so far, as some residents are still hesitant of receiving the shots. Based on the survey conducted by the LGU, most of them said that they are willing to be vaccinated, but with some reservations. Others said they want other people or even politicians in Valenzuela to receive the vaccines first before agreeing to be injected. Mayor Gatchalian said he is willing to receive the vaccine first once it arrives to increase vaccine confidence. Meanwhile, the Valenzuela LGU has tapped the Australia cold facilities for the storage and distribution of the vaccines. Sean Gatchalian said that non-residents but working in Valenzuela will also be prioritized once the vaccines arrive. He is also urging his constituents to register on ValTrace for an organized vaccine rollout. Sean?
Thank you for that update from Valenzuela City. That was News 5's Jen Kalimon joining us over the line. And vaccine developers from AstraZeneca are working on a new shot to effectively combat the South African variant of COVID-19. Here's Rachel Chang's report on Bloomberg Daybreak.
Right. So what is emerging is very concerning in the fact that we're seeing pharma companies say that their vaccine may not be as effective on these various new strains that are emerging. And most worryingly is the South African strain, where we know the spike protein of the virus, which is where the vaccine target is mutated. And so what AstraZeneca's vaccine found to be not that effective in South Africa is, possibly the confirmation that the vaccine race is not going to be simple at all. It's not going to be one shot, that the vaccines will have to be continuously modulated and continuously researched as more and more variants come along. And the faster the virus spreads, the higher the chance of more variants developing. And so this is really a race against time.
And then meanwhile, you've got the Sinovac shot that's been approved in China and in Indonesia as well, right?
That's right. And so we do know that countries are moving quite quickly with these original vaccines, but we'd have very little insight into how these vaccines will work on the new strains. And we're not seeing many places move fast enough to inoculate a good enough percentage of their population before these new strains start coming into play. What we're seeing is various vaccine developers now saying that they're going back to do trials, they're going back to drawing board and trying to adjust their vaccines and how they work on these new strains.
And scientists are probing the origins of the virus in Wuhan. Now, they say that they've made some findings and they're drawing some conclusions. What exactly have they come up with here?
Right, so we're coming to the end of the two-week investigation of the WHO expert team in Wuhan. We had an exclusive interview with one of the investigators this weekend who said that, encouragingly and maybe unexpectedly, the investigators are making real breakthroughs on the ground. They have gone back to the original market. They've gone to many different sites and cooperated with Chinese investigators. And we are anticipating for them to be holding a press briefing this week before they leave China. And what he said is that, there's real serious new clues that they've seen that will help give the world an understanding of how this happened and help to prevent the next one from happening.
For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.